Well, I must be making some kind of progress. I can actually see the surface of my workbench. Here is my old, haven't ever used it myself. This is a fairly long ago eBay purchase in which I had a lapse of attention and bid on a 4-inch Criterion boring head with a number 40 taper. I put the two cutouts in the flange of the taper in my vise, put a solid bar through the boring head, and got it off. Turned out, when I got it off, that it had been Loctited in, which makes sense. You wouldn't want it coming loose. So I finally broke down and sprung for a real, genuine, honest-to-goodness Criterion adapter, or arbor, I guess, to go on my 30 taper spindle. So I need to do a thorough job of cleaning the oil out of these two threads, and then put the whole thing together again. So let me go get some good degreaser and some Loctite, and we shall put this back together. My preferred solvent is pure grain alcohol. You have to pay liquor tax to buy it, so you can't get it in every state. But Everclear is a really nice solvent for a great many things. It evaporates quickly. It works as a pretty fair degreaser, and doesn't contain a lot of water like rubbing alcohol. You can get pure isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, but it I don't know, I just never liked it. Acetone, oh, it's a wonderful degreaser, but man, it's really tough on other things. So all right. Let us, little Loctite, 2760, high strength. Let us Put some here into the threads. I guess that's pretty tight, but we'll just give it a little bit more. You didn't see that, did you? Well, that's a pretty sloppy job of panning around. Oh, wrong direction. Righty tighty. Alright. Well, we'll give that Loctite a little time to sit up, and then we shall give it a try on the milling machine. Here's a project waiting to happen. A 3-phase 1-horse motor and a VFD, which will replace the single-phase half-horse motor on my lathe. I needed some stiffeners for the top section of my garage doors, and the easiest way to get it was to buy an aluminum I-beam and cut it lengthways end to end into 2 T-sections. Then of course drill all the holes. So those are lag bolted into the top of the door. The reason is, as you can see from those springs, these doors weigh about 800 pounds apiece. They're a conventional hollow core door, but they have 1.5 inches of mahogany on the outside. Sometime I'll get you a picture of that. They're pretty nice looking, but boy are they heavy. Here's another shop hint. I've put different colored tape on the handles of my drill press. This lets me grab the right handle when I'm doing repetitive operations that require a long stroke of the quill. I can always remember which color to grab, and that way I don't have to change my grip halfway through the operation. This is a demonstration of how good enough is the enemy of right. This is a magnetic sweeper that is intended to be handheld. But sometime about 10 years ago, I wanted a floor sweeper. So I went out in the woods and grabbed this stick and peeled the bark off it and zip tied it onto the handle. And instead of making a good handle for it, as any good machinist should, it's been sitting here with a stick for 10, maybe even 15 years. You can never have too many clamps. 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 Okay, time to put a new bearing into a live center here. Since I don't have much in the way of a arbor press, I have a tendency to use my vise for this sort of thing. Get that going in there straight. Now this protrudes slightly from the bearing on the other side, so we need to back this out, go back to our old standby, the socket. One nice thing, they have a sort of a tapered entry, so you can, if you're just off a little bit, it doesn't hurt too much. Oh, that is so much nicer than it was. Let us make sure that that is adequately lubricated in there. As usual, I'm going for a little bit. Alright. There's something a little for assembly here. All right. I don't think the vise will open up that far. I think that this one we're going to tap in with a soft hammer. Not the sledgehammer. We're not sledgehammer. All right. The spacer disc and the retainer. Now, I don't have a pin spanner that size, so my solution is a smaller pin than that. See if one of these will fit. Well, maybe so. It was in there fairly well. All right. Lovely. Okay, that's down on the clamp down on the outer race of the bearing, and let us drive in the set screw here to lock it in place. The set screw is set. One live center from the Ready Tool Co. Number 2. Here's a couple relatively new items. A set of brazed carbide and 3/8 shank, and from phase 2 some carbide insert tools for the usual left, right, and one straight ahead. So, along with a couple of small torque wrenches and some spare screws. Here's a nice eBay purchase. Groove micrometer, 0 to 1 inch. Runs nice, smooth. Can't feel any play in it. So this would be handy for measuring the thickness of basically anything I can put a 1/4 inch disc through. I don't believe this is the original box. This was for some a package of Chrome Rules, quantity 6. But it was nice of the seller to at least give me a red box with it. This should settle me in lock line for the foreseeable future. This is about 3 feet wrapped up into compact and all kinds of fittings. And while I was at it, I got a pair of the pliers. Okay. Since the belt splicing video, I have come to realize that the initial stretch is going to have to be taken out of the belt. And while I was working with the with that video, I ran across a video from Tandy Leather for this, which is called the Super Skiver 3025-00 is the Tandy Leather part number. Comes with a couple of spare blades, and I bought 3 10-packs of additional blades, which fit nicely in this little plastic case along with the 2 originals that comes with the Skiver. So we shall be giving this a try on the when I need to make a new splice to shorten the belt. It's designed to force a thin slicing cut, like very much like a wood plane. So we shall see what we shall see.